Well, it's time. There's only time for one mod, and it's for the King of the Koopas. That's right, boys and girls, Infernal Bout's up next, and I'm your guest, Mercury, here to show you what I love and what I hate. There isn't much I hate, actually. This mod only has one bad song. I would call it top 10 if it wasn't so short. Only, 12 songs? This'll be easy. Now, there aren't really any special rules because there isn't anything old, there isn't anything scrap, and this mod's not planned for a V2, so there's nothing upcoming. This'll be easy. Something short, finally. Now let's get started on my least favorite.
What did he say?
As much as I'd like to talk about this first song, my least favorite, I'm not going to. I'm going to let a friend who also shares the exact same opinion as me talk this time. His name is Bass, and he's the guy who also made the image for this mod. I give him huge credit. He's a great friend of mine, and he makes really good art. All right, Bass, take it away.
Alright. So Long is easily one of my least favorite songs in the mod. Or at least favorite song in the mod. This instrumental is very boring, first of all. And I guess Bowser kind of sounds decent, so does Boyfriend, but this instrumental is so boring. Honestly, this might just be one of my least favorite songs in FNF, in the whole community. I don't like this song in the absolute slightest. And my final criticism is that it's very short. I think I'm done talking about this song now. But yeah, So Long, I do not like you. You're freaking boring.
And by the way, all those rumors on the internet are fake. I'm not flat.
Dogeared. This one's... I'm kind of mixed on this one. Like, let's go through all my positives first so I can explain why. So, Bowser's chromatic sounds fine in this song. I don't hate it, but I don't really love it either. BF sounds okay, and I guess the instrumental is... I actually quite like the instrumental, I'll give it that much. It's a good instrumental the entire way through. What I don't like is... this song is very forgettable. It's the most forgettable of the entire OST in my opinion. Unless I'm actually forgetting something else, which would be a little funny. But yeah, no. Also, it feels a little generic sometimes. I don't really know how to put this one in words. I just don't really love Dogeared all that much, and it's not one I absolutely want to come back to on 100 re-listens. It just is a very simple song, but it's serviceable and is definitely a lot better than So Long, but I wouldn't call it better than anything else. Also, can I say it's weird that BF is not paperized and yet everybody else is? That's just kind of funny, not gonna lie. But it's kind of funny for me because I don't really play all that much Paper Mario. I don't really know much about it. I'm pretty sure it's the Origami King. I could be mistaken on that one though. But yeah, no. Dogeared was not beating anything else out.
Who are you? I'm what you should have been instead of what you are.
Shell Shocker D-Sides is not a popular opinion to be all the way down in B tier. This song has very fallen down. Like, this used to be like S plus for me, and now it's barely scraping out of B tier, and that's due to an infuriating number of reasons. But let's get some positives out of the way first to start this off. Number one, I like Boyfriend's Chromatic. I think it's used probably the best, except one other song in this mod. I think it's used really well. And the instrumental it's fine. It's not amazing, but it's not bad, and it works. I like Bowser's Chromatic. I don't like his chromatic, I like his design. I think it looks kind of cool. It looks kind of like King K. Rool. As a Donkey Kong fan, I can respect that. I also really like Girlfriend's design. I think it's cool. She looks like Mayor Pauline. And I guess the art in the background is pretty nice. Now time for my issues, because there's a couple. First off, I don't like Bowser's Chromatic much at all. It just sounds like a weaker Bowser, and that's kind of a disappointment, not gonna lie. And I don't like the lyrics much at all. I don't like how Bowser sounds. I don't like how generic they are. I don't like the echo, but most of all, I don't like how they start and stop. That's stupid. There's only one time that sounded good, and that was like in Silly Billy. Or maybe Your Friend, but that's it. And time for my biggest issue with the song as a whole. This does not feel like Shell Shocker at all. This is more like Flames than does Shell Shocker. Like, you can't put these two up and say, oh, this is just a remix. No, it doesn't feel like a remix at all. There's barely any references, but it is a little better than the two we've just talked about, but really it's not by all that much. This song has very heavily fallen off, and I'm sorry, but Del Docker is not a song I love anymore.
Why are you running? Why are you running?
Names. This one's kind of weird for me, because at first I used to not like it all that much, but I will admit it has grown on me. Now, let's get my biggest issue out of the way first. The instrumental. I think, look, a lot of songs in this mod use sound effects, and while that's usually a good thing, I think this is a song where it weakens it. I just don't like how spammy it feels with all the sound effects. And that's kind of a shame too, because it's paired with a really good guitar. Which also, I think the guitar is trying to mesh too much with the vocals, and I don't think that sounds all that great. All that being said, that's kind of my only issue with this song, because everything else is still pretty good, not gonna lie. I like how Bowser sounds, and I especially like how BF sounds. I like his chromatic in this song. It's not my favorite, but it's a pretty good usage of it. Yeah, I really can't say anything else for Flames. It's just a song that I think is a solid B tier.
That is but a taste of our fury. Do you yield? I do not.
Fury. This one's kind of weird to me. I said the song in dead last until a lot of other stuff started falling down, and this song did eventually start rising up. There is actually a lot to like about this song, especially in this first part. It just sounds so clean, especially with Boyfriend's Chromatic. I really like how it sounds. It just sounds so nice and heavenly to listen to, and especially when they duet, it sounds real good all the way through. I wish this part was a little longer though. I just want maybe just a teensy bit longer than it only feels like it's a minute, which is a shame. If this is more like half the song, I would probably like it a lot more. Unfortunately, after this really good opening half, the song tries to pick up speed, and this is where my issue comes in. Well, I actually know what my issue is. I can't tell if the instrumental is too loud or if Bowser's too quiet. It feels like it's a nasty parody of both, and that's a slight issue. When I can hear Bowser, he sounds pretty good, and so does Boyfriend. I like all the past melodies. They all sound pretty nice to listen to. But sometimes it's hard to hear Bowser, again, just due to the instrumental and the fact that it's chromatic is just quieter, which you would think it'd be louder, because look at Bowser. He's grown like 30 times his size, and you'd think he'd be louder, you'd think he'd be the loudest thing in the screen, but no, he's one of the quieter things, which is weird. That being said, this song is still an A tier, and it's still really good. I just wish the second half was a bit similar to the first half.
Hear that? That's the sound of sizzling.
The Lava Cruise, the most overrated song in this entire mod for me, and yet I still think it's good. My issue with this song, the big issue, is, again, the fact that it's pixelated and compressed. I like some of that stuff, but this is definitely not one of those times where I say absolutely adore it. Although, that being said, the pixelated thing is really my only issue with the song, because everything else still sounds really good. I like how BF sounds in this song, and I think Bowser sounds fine. And the instrumental is also pretty catchy, even though it's kind of hard to make out at some points. Although, I guess if I had any complaint for this song, I guess it does feel kind of repetitive after a couple listens. I don't know why, I just don't feel like the song is really my cup of tea anymore. And I think the song gets a little bit too much love, and lets a lot of other songs get overshadowed, like Rapland and Crown, which we'll get to that later. But yeah, I really did not have anywhere else to put this song except number 7. It's definitely grown on me since the first listen to, but I wouldn't say it's still a song I would call an S tier. It's just a solid enough A tier, but definitely beyond everything else we've talked about so far.
Who are you? I'm you, but way better, girlfriend.
Shell Shocker, the first song in the mod with Bowser in it, and it's pretty good, not gonna lie. I definitely prefer this version of Shell Shocker over a pitiful D-Sides version. Although, that being said, I do have a small issue with this song that I want to get out of the way immediately. Bowser's Chromatic is a little weird in the song. Like, I get this intro, but it's a bit of a weirder intro for me. That being said, that's my only issue with the song, is everything else is really good. Especially the Mario 3D World references. Oh, I loved playing that game when I was a kid. It just is so fun to listen to an FNF song, because you wouldn't expect it either. It just sounds so good. Boyfriend also sounds really catchy throughout the entire song. And I gotta admit, the Mad Dummy reference is actually pretty funny, even though I didn't notice it at first. Thanks for pointing that out, Neo. But yeah, everything about this song is just so... it's really good. The only reason I want to call it S tier is just because I think everything else above it is just a little bit better. Not a ton better, but just better enough that I would call them an S tier. This one just a very, very high A tier. Also, this instrumental is incredibly fire. There are a ton of sound effects. It's something I actually quite like. It's not just throwing a ton on. Flames. But yeah, this song definitely is a good impression for the mod. Tutorial warm-up mix is somehow actually really catchy. I used to actually hate this song when I first heard it. I don't know why. I guess it just didn't really click with me. But yeah, no, it's definitely clicked with me now, and is an easy candidate for the first S tier of the mod. There is a lot to love here. Girlfriend's saying her usual left down, right up is really nice, but that is nothing compared to her angelic chromatic. Thank you, it's not just Hypno's lullaby. I'm so sick of hearing that chromatic and everything. And Boyfriend sounds really good throughout the entire song. My only tiny gripe is that I think they're pushing a few too many sound effects, and it's not a huge downside, but it's keeping the song at number 5 and not anything above. But this song is super catchy throughout the entire way through. It just sounds really good and really smooth.
Okay, guys, we're ready to rumble. That rap Koopa's about to tumble.
Rapland. This one has definitely grown on me since its first listen to, back when I threw it all the way down in B tier. Yeah, it's actually a really catchy song. There's a lot to love here, and I mean a lot. For starters, King Koopa's chromatic. I'm glad it's not just Bowser's, as an alteration of Bowser's. But really, the real star of the show here is Boyfriend. His chromatic just sounds really nice throughout the entire song. The instrumental is pretty catchy, but I do have an issue with it. Similar to Flames, I think they're throwing in a few too many sound effects. It's not nearly as bad as Flames, because they do quit after a while, but it is a slight issue with the song. Also, these two sound really good when they're duetting, by the way. Like, I just want to point that out. It just sounds so good to listen to, and really makes you enjoy the song a lot. And especially when they're going back and forth here. It just sounds really good. The only reason it's not top 3 is, again, the instrumental can be a little annoying with the sound effects, but again, since it's not as bad as it was in Flames, I can give it a slight pass here. But this is definitely a song I want to come back to on a lot of re-listens. Even more than something like, I don't know, Tutorial, which is actually really close to it. But I guess there's not much to say. The song is just overall amazing. It knows what it's going for, and also kind of see how cool BF and GF looks. They look incredibly cool. Also, BF has 5 fingers. How does BF have 5 fingers? Is this yourself? I don't think so. This is an error in drawing. I demand they fix it this instant.
What is your gender? My gender.
Round. This is actually a really, really good song. This has always been 3rd place for me. No matter how many times I listen to this OST, I can't put Crown any lower. In fact, it just gets better and better and better with every single listen to. It is so amazing. And it just... there is so much to love here. For starters, Bowsette's chromatic. I love that it's just Bowser's, but it's slightly pitched down by a couple of frames. That makes it sound really cool and really original too. It's not just Bowser's. Boyfriend also sounds really good throughout the entire song. Definitely one of his better performances. And the real star of the show here is when these two just go really fast, because Bowsette works really well with how fast she goes, and BF pairs just as good. The instrumental is also really good with the bops and other references that sound really, really nice. Crown is just so good. I would hesitate to call this one an SS though, because I just wouldn't. I just don't know. It doesn't feel SS worthy. It's kind of like Despair, but it is still an S+, not even a question. And definitely the song that made me most excited in this entire OST, because I admit I'm a little bit of a Bowsette simp. Call me crazy, that's just how I am. Also, I like what they did with her design. You know, they didn't just do like a generic design. Oh, just throw a dress on her and give her a shell and call it a day. No, they gave her an actual cool design, which I really like. The devs of this team really knew how to make good songs and good design, and they show it all here in Crown. It just sounds so good. This is easily one of the best songs in the mod, but it just was not beating out the top 2.
This is getting out of hand. Now there are 2 of them.
Okay, before everybody goes logging off and raging because Dark Immunity is not in 1st place, let me explain myself. First of all, I really, really like the song. It is an easy SS for the mod, and is easily top 15 of all Friday Night Funkin'. And that's due to a lot of good reasons, especially with this first half. The instrumental sounds so good throughout the entire way through. It just is beautiful. Bowser sounds really good. It's one of his better uses, but the real star of the show here is Dark Bowser. Oh, he just sounds so good. I like that it's really similar to Bowser, similar to Bowsette, but it's a lot more deeper than normal Bowser, and I really like the alterations that they gave to him. When they go back and forth, it just sounds really smooth and really good throughout the entire way through. In fact, this first half, my only issue is it's a little too short. It could have gone for a few more turns, but it's still a really good first half. Amazing, and starts the song off really well. And it only goes more uphill as the song progresses, because after this small little pause section, which I will admit is, okay, this is the tiny issue of the song, this could have been handled a little bit better, but it's not awful, and I do really like it. But after this little pause point, we get into the easily second best part of the entire song. awful. Oh, hello. You have a great chromatic. That's great. That's just amazing. The instrumental sounds also really amazing in this part. It just sounds so good and smooth. BF sounds amazing too. But the star here is Girlfriend. Oh, her chromatic still sounds really good throughout the entire way through this phase. I only wish that again this phase was a little bit longer. It's still really good. It just is so absolutely incredible and just sounds so angelic. I have not heard a better Girlfriend chromatic since ever actually. This is my favorite Girlfriend chromatic. And then right after this already amazing part comes actually the most incredible ending in this entire mod besides one other. These two going back and forth sound really good. It just sounds so good. The instrumental is at its best here. Dark Bowser and Bowser play off each other really well. Even though Bowser is sometimes a little hard to make out over Dark Bowser, it still sounds really darn good. It just is a perfect ending to this song. Unfortunately, I can't call it number one because I think number one was just a little better at the end of the day, but this song is still absolutely incredible and I love it. Rage Party. Oh, do I have a few things to say about this song. So for starters, this was the easy king of the mod. This didn't take like 3 listens to figure out if I like the song more than Dark Community. It took 1. And that's due to an absurd amount of reasons. I'm gonna go through every single one. For starters, this instrumental is fire. This is the best instrumental in all of Friday Night Funkin', and you will not change my mind on that. You will not change my mind on that in the slightest. And that is nothing compared to the chromatics and all the voices. They're all just so good. The Talking Flower is funny and cute, and it's cool they have his voice lines to the actual game. Castle Bowser sounds probably his best here than any other Bowser chromatic in this entire mod. Even Bowser, and that's thanks to I really liked Bowsette's chromatic. And Boyfriend, oh, his chromatic is clean. It is so smooth and perfect. This entire song is just incredible throughout the entire way. There is not a single bad part of this entire song, and there is nothing in the song that falls short of amazing. And then this part happens. You can't say it's not funny and cute and hilarious at the exact same time, because that transition is really cool. BF gains a bit of a horn in his chromatic, and I really like how that sounds. It just makes this chromatic sound even better. It just is so good. How is this small song we got in a little update the best song in the entire mod? Okay, it gets a little repetitive, but I don't care. This melody is still so good throughout the entire song. It just is. Oh, what else can I say? Oh, there's something else I can say. Even the fake out, the thing that ruins most songs, like Blackout. This fake out works really darn well, and it just sounds so good because the instrumental is still popping off. It just sounds so good. And just when you think it's over, do the fake out, it just starts kicking right back up slowly and sounds better than it did somehow in the opening, which is say since I'm sure I loved the opening. It just sounds so freaking good. And then this final part thing turns purple. It just is actually the best thing ever from all of this entire OST. It just sounds so good. The instrumental is even better than what it was. Battle sounds a lot better. BF sounds even better. I want to say this right now. This is my favorite of the mod. Yes, but it is also this. It is also my favorite Friday Night Funkin' song out there. Yes, Rage Party is my favorite. Screw Silly Billy. Screw Infraction. Screw Cat Patella. Screw Knockout. Those couldn't compare to the absolute quality and peakness that is Rage Party. It just sounds so good throughout the entire way through. This song is my easy favorite of everything FNF has thrown out, and I cannot thank Andy Skits enough for showing me this mod, showing me the best FNF song of all time. I thank you so much, Andy Skits. I can never repay you for this. It just is so good. That was Infernal Bout. Not gonna lie, I actually still like this mod to this day. It's got a really good OST. There's a lot of stuff I like, and, well, Rage Party. And all the artwork is really cool. You can see the passion that was put into this OST. In every song, whether that be the icons, the art, the amazing OST, it's just all there. If this mod doesn't get an update, I'd be okay with that. It's got a pretty good 12 songs, but I would think it would be nice if we got an update. But until then, here's what we're working with. Yeah, a really good OST and Rage Party. So yeah, this is definitely I want to come back to in the future. Now with that out of the way, I think I'm going to cover Versus Online next. It's a pretty good OST, and I'm doing it for a friend, so I hope he enjoys it. Until then, see you later.